Welcome friends, welcome back to the kitchen. Here's something you don't often see in our kitchen, and that's a slow cooker. They have their use. They are fantastic for certain uses, and one of them is to do a slow cooked soup. I've been working a lot in the hangar, working on that airplane, trying to bring it back to the point where we can start flying it. And it's taking up a lot of my time, so I won't be here tonight to make supper. So I thought I'd do sort of a bean and sausage stew type thing in the slow cooker. I can leave it on all day. When I come back from the hangar, Julie and I will have supper. So it's just a dump everything into the slow cooker type of meal. Here I have some cannellini beans. These were dried beans. I soaked them overnight, drained off the water, and they're ready to go in. So in go the beans. Next up, I have some cherry tomatoes, but if you wanted to put in a can of tomatoes, that would work really well, or just a couple of tomatoes from your garden. Fantastic. Next up, I have a plate with onion, celery, carrot diced up, and some fresh thyme. That all goes in. So for herbs and spices, I have some oregano. I have some summer savory, and if you're not familiar with summer savory, it is a great herb for soups. And if you don't have it or you can't find it where you live, that's fine. You can leave it out. Not really a huge deal. I'm going to put in some red pepper flakes, not too many. I just want that hint of heat, but not a whole lot of heat. I'm going to put in some salt and pepper. And salt and pepper, of course, is always to taste. And this is something that later on in the cooking process, right at the very end, you can adjust it with a little bit more if you need it. I'm going to start with that and see where that gets us. Next up are the sausages. And I've got just a little plate of tiny little cocktail sausages. And they are really just a regular Italian sausage. They've just been pinched into this smaller shape. You could take regular sausage, regular size sausage, and just chop it up or just make it into meatballs. And so in they go. Next, I have some chicken stock. And I've got a few cloves of garlic. Now you can crush these or not crush these. You can stick them in whole. I'm going to stick them in whole. I think that over this long cooking process, they're going to break down and mellow out anyway. So get in there and give it a bit of a stir. You don't have to stir it too much. Just kind of mix everything around. There we go. Lid on. And we'll turn that on to low. Now the timer comes up for 10 hours. It'll probably be done in 7 or 8, but I probably won't be home for at least 9 or 10. So I'm just gonna leave this on the counter, forget about it, and go to work. I'll see you at the end of the day. So we're rehanging the flaps. All new hardware, fresh grease, new rollers. Coming together. It's coming together.
Okay, just gotta lift it up and give me some clearance here, if you could. Right about.
Okay, I'm back. Full day at the hangar. Got a lot done. Well, I think I got a lot done. Sometimes you think you're making progress and there's nothing happening. And other days you don't think you got anything done, and then all of a sudden, boom, a bunch of stuff is back together and the plane is looking fantastic. If you haven't checked out the channel, if you're interested in airplanes, please check it out. That would be fantastic. But I know that you're here for this soup. Next thing I'm gonna do with this soup is, you could take an immersion blender and stick it inside here and mash up some of the beans and the carrots and the onions. But the thing is, I don't want to break up the sausage bits. So I'm going to take out with a slotted spoon some of the beans, and I'll get some of the tomatoes as well, because I really want to break some of those up too, and leave behind the sausage bits. The idea is that I only really want to sort of thicken the soup a little bit, but I still want to have some whole beans and whole tomatoes swimming around in there. And the other thing I'm going to remove will be the thyme sprigs. Those can come out at this point as well. And I think that's enough. So I'm just going to use the back of the spoon to smash these. The beans are really soft. Not going to take much to get them crushed. You could use an immersion blender if you want to. You could put them in a countertop blender if you wanted to. But really, the back of a spoon does the job. Smashed beans go back in. That will thicken up the soup nicely, give it kind of a nice creamy texture. We'll stir that in. And just to add a little green, I've got some baby spinach. And so I'll just put that over top. That was, I don't know, about 6 cups of baby spinach. So I'm going to put that, give it a little bit of a stir, but for the most part, you just want to leave it on top, put the lid back on, and let it go another 10 or 15 minutes until the spinach wilts into the soup.
Hey, Glenn.
Hey, Jules.
Hey, friends. That smells really good.
I think this is a spoon event.
Yeah, really? You think so?
I think so. I think it's a spoon event.
Oh, I like the spinach.
Okay.
How hot is it?
That's really good. It's got a nice depth of flavor. I probably should have cut the sausage bits up a little bit. They're-
Bite-sized
they're-
pieces?
Yeah, they're not exactly bite-sized pieces, but having them like the way I put them in means that they cook all day. You get the flavor, but they don't break down, so you still get a distinguished piece of sausage. But, you know, having a knife at the table might be a good idea.
That's really good.
Yeah.
I'm just going to sit here and eat it. So, did you get anything done today? I know you
Well-
weren't here. I know you weren't here.
We got some of the control surfaces back on the airplane.
Oh, that must make you very excited.
Yes. It looks like it looks like a plane again. It looks like a plane again.
That's fun.
So I think this is a really good soup. I'm not someone who uses a crock pot or a slow cooker all that often, but this soup is very well suited to it because you don't need to do any browning ahead of time. So if you've got the standard non-fancy crock pot, like the one I have from my mother that's, you know, probably 40 years old, still works perfectly. Doesn't look great on camera, so don't use it out here, but you can't brown anything in it. This type of soup that doesn't require browning is really good.
All right.
Thanks for stopping by. See you again soon.